Hey y'all, so before we start this weekly thoughts video, I'm gonna point out the fact that yes, my hair is a lot darker, and that is because yesterday I kind of just impulsively dyed it, and so, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It's a little darker than I wanted, so yeah. But today I really want to talk about, just this idea of enjoying the here and now and your experiences and being as fully present as possible, because it's so easy to just get caught up in the what ifs and the future and, does this even really matter? And you just kind of don't even enjoy the experience that you're having right now, and that leads to just so many more regrets. I have this problem of overthinking things and making situations just much more complicated than they need to be. And, that can be a good thing sometimes, like analyzing stuff or whatever, but sometimes it really isn't. And I've just kind of been noticing that this past week. One example I can think of this is in middle school, I wouldn't, act on any feelings or date or anything like that because I just didn't see the point, I didn't see like, it just wasn't going to go anywhere. I was just like, okay, we're kids, in 5 years, is this gonna matter? Are we still gonna be together? Like, why should I invest time in something that probably isn't gonna go anywhere or whatever? It's like, that was my thought process. And, maybe that's a good thing in some ways, but at the same time, I don't know, I kind of missed out on a lot of experiences and, memories or whatever that could have been because I just was like, well, it doesn't matter. This really relates to another weekly thoughts video, the one I did about impermanence, because in that video I talked about how I can get caught up in the fact that, in the grand scheme of things, does anything really matter? All of this is going to eventually become dust, my life, no one will remember me, things like that. So what does it really matter what I do now or anything like that? And you can really get into a spiral. And that's the same thing with this whole situation, is that I was thinking about a time when it wouldn't matter. And it's true. Yeah, okay, if I did date someone or whatever that means in middle school, it probably wouldn't have worked out. But at the same time, like, I missed out on some fun experiences, or maybe just like a connection with someone, or maybe a good friendship or something. And if you're placing your value of something on whether it's gonna last or not, then nothing is really gonna matter because nothing can last. And I think you should take that statement, and instead of going into a negative spiral because of it, you should take that statement and all the more enjoy the simple, small things in life and just be as present as you possibly can, because maybe this is the last sunset that you get to see. Maybe this is the last time that you feel this certain emotion or whatever, And when I'm saying all of these things, I don't mean that you should just go do whatever you want and make terrible decisions based on the fact that, nothing's going to matter in the future. If you're making decisions because it's not going to matter in the future, then that's not a decision that I think you should really stand by, And this whole past week has just been me trying to implement this more in my life, trying to be more present and more in the here and now, and just more aware and more grateful for the moments that I have, because it's a present. The present is a present. That whole statement or whatever. I mean, it's true. It's true. Could be your last. You never know. And I'm finding it really difficult, and I think that's because I tend to overcomplicate things, give me any situation, I'm gonna overthink it, overcomplicate it, whatever, And I think in some aspects it's sort of a self-sabotaging thing. I'm so used to living one sort of way, I'm so used to my routines, getting caught up in the stress, whatever, I having that excuse to complain or whatever, it's sort of easier because I'm used to it. And so whenever I'm like trying to be more aware or whatever, it can be painful, really fully experiencing your emotions and what you're thinking and feeling. Like, that can be really painful, and a lot of times it's just easier to be numb and to go through the motions of things and just, distract yourself. My overcomplication of things really can make it so that I am more in my routine and more, I'm caught up in my head, so I'm not in the present moment. But yeah, this was all over the place, so sorry about that. I'm not sure how long this is gonna be, but I hope it was interesting. And I'm also, again, I'm sorry for the random music in the background. Ole, ole, ole.